Hey guys.
Isaac!
Isaac, what's up?
Slim fucked up. That's all I know. Can you hear us? Isaac!
I heard you and you cut out and now you're back. Can you hear
Ah.
me?
Yeah, we
We
can
can
hear
hear
you,
you.
dude. How's everything?
It's going all right. Sorry about the connection problem there.
No problem, no problem. Isaac Thorne, horror author from Tennessee. How was your COVID summer, my friend?
My COVID summer was the same as my COVID spring.
Yeah,
Basically.
same.
I've been working from home,
Yeah, oh, still.
just trying to get along.
Wow. Well, we had a fantastic couple days where we had tornadoes and shit. We lost power, so I got to read more of Roadkills, which I read Gordon Plays start to finish. I couldn't put it down, but Roadkills I had never completed, and I read a couple more stories in that. Uh, and did I find something out here? Did Diggum live in Lost Hollow?
Diggum did live in Lost Hollow. Yes.
Wow, I had no idea. I
Yes,
had
he
no
did.
idea. That was amazing to see. And will it tie into the Gordon place at all?
It hasn't so far. There's one spot in the Gordon place where I mention the guy who used to burn bodies in the cemetery in passing. Um, so I kind of tied back to it there, but not in any way more meaningful than that so
Okay.
far.
It was just cool. It was just really cool to pick up on that. And I don't know if it's that one or one of the stories mentioned a grocery store named ShopRite, and those are up here. Did you know that or?
I did not know that.
Wow. Wow, yeah, like Jersey, I don't know if it's in New
That
York, but there are grocery stores up here called ShopRite. So I didn't know if you like had known that.
Oh, so did you like make up something and then turns out it's real?
apparently.
That's
Cool.
amazing.
Cool.
That's awesome.
I didn't even know shop rights
See,
were
I
just like exclusive to here.
Yeah. Yeah, Slim. You've never been
yeah.
far, have you?
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
Like,
I
this
don't
tape.
think we have them. I
Well,
don't think we have them in Tennessee. I've never seen one if we do.
yeah, no, I strictly think they're like this area.
Wow.
This area, yeah. And I love the other stories I read by Flashlight. Drinking. Nobody was here was really fun, and I just pictured nobody as being like voiced by Frankie Tubesteaks.
That makes perfect sense to me.
He
That's
really,
headcanon, man.
really like yeah, meth head, like yeah, that was what I pictured. And oh my god, Murder of Crows was just so much fun. I just feel like it's my story, like Top Dog and a
Uh,
tabloid show, and his whole crew turn against him. That's why I get rid of all the interns.
That's why none of them are
that's
here.
what happened to Slambo, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Even new Slambo. That the blow up
It's
got
just
a
been
little
stabbed.
too he knew a little too much, so we had to get rid of him earlier tonight. But I love that story, dude. That's such a cool story.
Thank you very much.
No problem. What have you ever wanted to I don't know, write more on any of those stories?
Um, the only one I've written any continuation on was Because Reasons, and all three parts of that are in Roadkills.
Yeah.
Most of the time with the short stuff, I just it's a one and done type thing. But for some reason, I didn't feel like I was done with Tiffany, so she got
Yeah.
a couple more stories out of it that kind of rounded out the collection there.
Cool. Yeah, because those definitely did have like endings and all that, but that's cool. Did you
Yeah.
catch any of that debate last night?
I caught the aftermath. I was watching Nightmare Cinema on Shutter because Mick Garris and the other directors were doing live tweeting of it. So I was more interested in that than the debate. But I turned over to the news afterward, and they were calling it. When they went to commercials, the saying was, we'll be back to discuss more of whatever it was we just witnessed.
Dude, it was. I've never watched any sort of political debate, and I just couldn't stop last night. I was like, wow, this is a show of shit.
People just had to make sure, like,
Yeah.
am I on Comedy Central right now?
Yeah.
What channel is this?
I don't know.
So I think between Twitter and the news, I've caught up with the highlights of it. I don't know that I could have made it through the entire. What was it, 90 minutes?
Yeah, hour and a half.
Yeah, I don't know that I could have made it through that entire 90 minutes if I had watched it live.
I wanted to like punch my TV
Based
at one
on what I've
point.
seen.
Like it was just, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was all the emotions. Like yeah, I wanted to punch that shit. I was like, fuck.
So, Isaac, what was the thing you were watching then? You said it was called Nightmare Shudder?
Nightmare Cinema on Shudder.
Oh, okay.
Shudder is a horror streaming service. And Nightmare Cinema is a horror anthology that came out sometime last year, I think. It was either last year or 2018. It's a series of 5 short segments that are all tied together through this mysterious figure who operates a theater, and he's called the Projectionist, and played by Mickey Rourke. So,
oh, it sounds amazing.
so yeah, it was a pretty cool time.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
it all
is
like
on Shudder now?
Is
if you
each
wanna check it out.
episode like a famous like there was something I saw years ago called Masters of Horror, which each like episode was a famous like director had written it or directed it or something like that. Is it kind of like that?
Yes, in fact, the same guy who produced Masters of Horror produced this and directed not only the projectionist part of it, but the final segment in it. That was Mick Garris.
Cool.
So, yeah, I think he calls it the spiritual successor to Masters of Horror.
Awesome.
So,
I fucking loved Masters of Horror, so I'll have to check that out.
I feel like Mickey Rourke's played a couple of those. I saw him as the cook in Spun. Did you ever see that movie, Isaac?
I didn't see Spawn. No, I need to.
Yeah, it's all about
I don't know why.
a meth cook. And-
What is it called?
Spun.
Spun? Okay.
Oh my god, it had that one.
Spawn.
Spun. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard
thought you were
Isaac say
saying
Spawn,
Spawn.
and I was like, I don't know if it was
no,
Spawn.
not the Spawn. It was Spun. It had John Leguizamo in it. It had the one chick that died that used to do a voice on King of the Hill. Like I can't remember her name, but yeah, no, it was a really good movie. Really good movie. And you got to get the foreign version because the American version was like edited horror, like
Oh, really?
ridiculously. Yeah, the Canadian version is way better.
And
Way better.
Mickey, what was Mickey Rourke doing?
The
in it?
cook,
He was the
cooking meth.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was the Walter White in that. Cool.
It was a good movie. Oh goddamn, Isaac. What do you have planned for Halloween?
Isaac.
I think I lost you. Yeah, I think I lost you for a second there, guys. I hear you.
Okay, cool.
I was asking what you had planned for Halloween this year.
For Halloween, I don't have any plans really. With COVID still out there, I mean, I don't go out that much anyway. To be honest, COVID hasn't really changed my life that much. But it'll probably be just a string of horror movies. I might just turn on Shudder and leave it on. They have a live stream that they do, so.
Nice.
What are you like real
So it
into?
might just be whatever's there.
Yeah.
In normal years, do you do like the decorating and getting candy for trick-or-treaters or any of that?
I decorate, not much. I mean, I'll get the jack-o'-lantern, and things like that. I don't get trick-or-treaters. I live
Yeah, same here.
way out in the country,
Oh.
and on top of a big hill. And I think if there are any in the area, they're probably too afraid to come up and knock on the door.
You're that guy, yeah. You're like the Stephen King. You got that mansion.
Yeah.
Up in,
I just picture, because he said jack-o'-lantern, so I picture just Isaac's fucking house on a hill and just one pumpkin outside.
That's the best. Not even carved or uncarved, I think.
That's it, man.
Isaac, it was funny because
That is
I when I picked up Rob, earlier today, I noticed his neighbors had those fucking inflatables, and I'm like, these things are getting worse and worse.
They're
Like,
so
one was
dumb.
just like a chipmunk dressed up like a pirate, and I'm like, it's not scary. Like, where can I get a like real scary like inflatable? Like, I just want an inflatable of somebody just stabbing someone else, like, you know.
Something with some blood in it.
Right,
at
yeah,
least.
they're just like
Although
these-
I don't know that you can make inflatable blood.
Yeah.
Scary either.
No.
They're just like these
like
cartoon
Nickelodeon
animals. Yeah,
Shit,
Nickelodeon.
or
Just
whatever it is.
I-
I don't even know.
I think in the retail store that I work at, I just sold like a bat that had like a little bow tie on it, and it was just like a goofy, silly bat.
That's cuter than
He was
scary.
holding a sign that says, "I give you COVID." I don't know.
Oh, that's scary. That's scary. That's it. I wonder if, you know how they used to say, you're going to get a razor blade in that apple. I wonder if anyone's coughing on the Snickers this year.
Yeah,
Just
you're
as
gonna
like,
get some
Yeah,
COVID.
now you're getting the COVID candy bar.
You have to put every piece of candy through the COVID test to
yeah.
make sure.
Yeah.
Gotta let that eat this piece to make sure it's not tainted, little Jimmy. Ugh. Isaac, could you read us something?
I can. I have picked out a section of Chapter 7 from the Gordon Place that I can read for you tonight whenever you're ready.
All right, ready when you are, Isaac. I am muting the mics now.
All right. This is from Chapter 7 of my novel, The Gordon Place. There were no signs of another living human being at the Gordon Place when Jeremy arrived. Naturally, that didn't mean anything if the constable or even Jeremy's former high school buddies were hiding out somewhere on the site, maybe preparing to leap out at him at the scariest possible moment. He pushed the front door inward, allowing his iPhone's flashlight feature to cast its white light on the interior before he stepped over the threshold. The moon was full and bright. Not a supermoon this time, but it cast enough light through the windows of the old place to help illuminate the corners his iPhone did not. Within, there was dust and footprints in dust. So far, he didn't see a damn thing to be afraid of. Yes, it was an abandoned house of sorts. No one lived in it, even if Constable Gordon owned the place. There were still signs of life. Whole and broken beer bottles lay scattered about the floor. The footprints were another dead giveaway. People had been here recently. That made Jeremy feel less like he was exploring a creepy haunted relic from the past, and more like he was breaking and entering. Still, if the good constable didn't want anyone trespassing in this old house, why hadn't he bothered to put a lock on the place? The old hardwood floor groaned when he stepped inside, but it wasn't menacing. Just a nail that had pried loose from a floor joist over time. It happened in every house. That's what his dad always said when Jeremy was little, anyway. Those strange squeaks and groans you hear in the house in the middle of the night, those footsteps of monsters, intruders, or ghosts in the imagination of childhood, were almost never anything more than the strange sounds of nails against bending wood, the sound of a house settling. He glanced around the room with the ray of light from his iPhone, and, satisfied that no one was going to jump out at him from behind the door, walked several paces through the interior. To the left of him was a large room, something that looked like it might have once been a living area or family room. In front of him stretched a wallpapered hallway that ended with a window that probably looked out on the backyard. There also stood the mouth of a staircase that led to the second floor. In a wall beneath the back of that staircase, and closer to Jeremy's spot near the front of the place, was a small door with a hook and eye latch on it. It looked like it might close off a storage area or access to a basement. As the beam from his iPhone passed over the latch, he thought he heard something skitter behind that door. Rats? Maybe. Then again, a door like that might be a perfect place to bide your time if you had a friend who was exploring a supposedly haunted house and you wanted to scare the shit out of that friend when he did. Jeremy grinned. Okay, guys, I know you're here. Come on out. His words bounced off the walls and floors of the empty rooms and echoed back to him. There was no more response than that. Guys, I know you're in here. Nothing. He was annoyed now. Pranks are funny, but they're best when you can share the laugh at yourself. There comes a point in a prank when it's more important that the joker knows it's time to stop or risk getting punched in the dick. Most of the time, that point is when the butt of the joke figures out he's the butt of the joke. I'm not playing around here. I'm giving you to the count of 3 to come out, or I'm coming in after you. And you don't want me to come in after you. 1. Jeremy thought he saw the loose hook latch on the door jiggle a little in his light, as if the door to which it was attached had moved a hair's breadth and then become still. 2. Nothing. 3. Silence. He began to creep toward the door, trying not to cause the old force beneath him to squeak and give away his position. Okay, he called. I guess there really is no one there. I suppose that means no one will mind if I just grab this little hook on the front of the door here and latch you in. Jeremy threw open the plank door and held it against the wall with his right hand. In his left, the iPhone shone its beam into the blackness of the void he had just revealed. He had expected an old buddy or two, maybe even would-be ghost adventurer Brandy Wakefield, to fall out from behind the door when he yanked on it. Instead, all he saw was a flight of plank stairs leading down into something. A faint odor followed the breeze the swinging door had created. It smelled musty and damp, like mildew or maybe a mouse that had been dead for a while but not yet decomposed enough to stop stinking. "Hello?" he shouted down the stairs. Although he couldn't imagine anyone would be stupid enough to try to navigate them in darkness like this and with a damp smell like that wafting over them. The decrepit old things would probably collapse under the weight of human feet. "If anyone's down there, say something." From somewhere outside the void of the cellar, there came a shriek so piercing that a startled Jeremy leapt backward from the darkness he had been peering into, dropping his iPhone to the hardwood floor in the process. The plank door, free of its restraint, swung closed on its spring hinge with a slam. He plugged his fingers in his ears and clenched his teeth against the sound. Goosebumps rose on his flesh, and the prickles from them felt like they zigzagged from the crack of his ass all the way up his spine and into his hair, forcing it to stand on end. The god-awful sound was really some kind of combination of shriek and scream, as if a giant hawk had suddenly descended on an unsuspecting woman jogging at night and begun disemboweling her with its talons. It was a long shriek, without an overture, and ended as suddenly as it had begun. Whatever it was, there was no mistaking that it had come from somewhere outside the house, not within. Jeremy's heart pounded inside his chest. His breaths came in short, shallow bursts. He hadn't been scared when he walked into the old house that evening. Now, though, he was beginning to fear walking out of it. The end.
Nice. I just remember Jeremy drove a car that was a recreation of the Ghostbusters, Ecto-1.
Yes. Yes, the Ecto-1. He was a Ghostbusters cosplayer.
Yes.
A serious one.
Yes.
I have a very important question I got to ask you, Isaac. I want you to name a famous horror antagonist that would make a better president than Donald Trump.
Ooh.
Go.
Randall Flagg.
I don't know who that is. Who's Randall Flagg?
It's the bad guy. It's the bad guy from The Stand.
Okay. All right. Some
Was
Stephen King.
Yes.
Who played him? Wasn't it is he dead now?
Is he dead now? Who played him, Isaac?
I don't
I thought it was like Rod Stewart.
I don't know that he's dead. It was the guy's name was Jamie something.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the guy from Dirty Dancing.
What was the story there? He like took over the world with a virus
He
or
was
something?
the devil.
Oh, he was the devil. Okay. It was like COVID.
Yes,
or
he's
something.
basically the devil.
With COVID.
And he gathers his minions in Las Vegas while the good guys gather around Mother Abigail in Colorado.
And oh yeah, I thought that was like the Deep South, but that was a good.
I like that you had no hesitation too. You're just like, yeah, Randall Flagg. That's better than Trump, hands down. I would go with probably Freddy Krueger. I'd like a president that can fuck with my dreams.
I like Michael Myers.
Michael Myers would be a good president. Yeah.
Yeah. At least Michael Myers doesn't get in a hurry about anything. He'll take his time.
He's a suave motherfucker. Have you voted yet, Isaac?
I have not. Early voting in Tennessee doesn't start until October 14th, so I'll probably be going that week. I'm not voting by mail just because I don't trust our vote by mail.
What about those Trump guys though? Didn't he say he wants what were they called? I don't know. He wants poll watchers. Trump said his guys should be poll watchers. So I feel like they're gonna chase you in there and just grab your wrists and move you to buttons.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. That's for sure. I mean, Tennessee is pretty much with the exception of Clinton, it's a red state. I think Tennessee went for Clinton both times.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a red state, and it's probably going to go Trump's way anyway.
Yeah,
so,
that's South Jersey. South Jersey is the same. Like
Definitely.
Everywhere in New Jersey is blue except for this part, like the South Jersey.
Yeah.
I saw some douchebag the other day with like a pickup truck and 2 flags on the back, and one was a Trump flag.
My one of my good friends is just telling me that the apartments he just moved into down the street, he saw a van with all just Trump stickers and flags and all that shit, and he's like, "You live in Tuckerton. Like, what has Trump done for you?"
Yeah,
like, he hasn't done anything.
These people like wear Carhartts. They act like it's the deep South down here. Isaac, I don't know what's going on in this area. Oh my God, I saw one a few weeks ago. It was like a car with the Trump stickers, like every Trump sticker ever, all over the back of it, plus a Space Force sticker. Like, I didn't think Space Force was really doing anything, really going anywhere, but I guess this guy was.
Is that the just in case something changes between now and the election day? Is that maybe the spot for that sticker?
I feel like that's the only way Trump could pull this off, is if aliens attacked and we needed to employ Space Force. I feel like that's where Slambo is.
I think so. But even like Trump couldn't handle COVID, he's not going to be able to handle aliens.
What? He's already at Space Force, Slim.
Yeah.
Come on, give the guy something here. Huh?
That does turn out the like one thing Trump can do is he can fend off an alien invasion.
It was the one stupid thing like Ronald Reagan wanted to do that I don't know if he ever did. He wanted Star Wars, but Trump pulled off Space Force.
Yeah, I don't think Star Wars ever actually happened. I think it was shelved after the Russians actually got wind of it.
Was Star Wars? It was a laser that would like blow up planets
meteors,
or something,
they come
right?
in meteors
okay,
or
that's
something.
what it was.
Yeah, it was the Death Star.
Or missiles. Missiles. It would blow up missiles. Or supposed to.
Yeah. Schmissels. Space missiles. Oh, goddamn, Isaac. I don't know what's in store, but we will see, my friend. Thank you so much. It's always great talking to you, dude.
Absolutely. Sorry about the trouble calling in, but I love talking to you guys and glad to be back on.
I can't wait to do it again, man. Where can everybody find you?
You can find me at my website, isaacthorne.com, and that's Thorne with an E. You can also find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Isaac R. Thorne.
Awesome, man. Cool. Have a happy Halloween.
You too.
We will definitely talk soon, dude.